my beautiful Scorpio friends, and welcome to your horoscope for January of 2023. We're Scorpio this month. Let's keep in mind that we are not running and whipping and zipping into January of 2023. We've still got Mars retrograde, one of your ruling planets. We've got Mercury that's retrograde, and yes, they are both coming direct this month, along with Uranus coming direct as well, but the energy is slow. So we're still coming in reflective, and really more than just reflective, especially in external things. I want you to keep in mind that the changes that need to come to be a part of your next season are like working themselves in, right? So they're like clicking themselves into place. Like all of the things have to line up. And there's a lot of that that's happening this month, very specifically around your home and your relationship zone. These are going to be two areas you're paying, particular attention. We've got Venus at the beginning of the month coming into the energy of Aquarius, but the rulers of Aquarius are both Saturn and Uranus. One is in your fourth house, the other is in your seventh house. So significant changes to home or relationships at home or paternal relationships, things like that. Those dynamics are absolutely on your table this month. Not to mention we're going to have lunations between your ninth house, and then we'll also have the other one that's going to be happening in your home zone as well. So lots of attention at home this month, Scorpio, and what you choose to do with that energy or how you choose to respond to that energy is really going to be the setup for how you're going to participate for at least the next 4 to 6 weeks, okay? All right, Scorpio, let's get in here. At the beginning of the month on the 2nd, we've got Venus moving into that energy of Aquarius, lighting up your fourth house. Venus is an attracting in energy. The fourth house, home, family, real estate, property, your parents, parenting, your roots, physical places that you live will all be in this fourth house space. So now you're attracting in changes, and they're unconventional. Maybe you want independence. You're like, I'm moving. I want freedom here. Or maybe one of your children's moving in, moving out, because there's this independence quality, and it's very unconventional as to what has been here before. But likely the move, the change to the home zone has been triggered by a significant relationship that you had attachment to for the last however many numbers of years, and that relationship has changed. Now it's triggered a change in the home zone. Okay, so keep an eye on that. Let me know if you're one of our Scorpios that's moving. Let me know if you're one of our Scorpios whose children are like going off to college or something like that. Okay, when we get to the 6th, we've got a full moon happening at 16 degrees of Cancer, lighting up your ninth house space. Publishing, marketing, broadcasting, international travel, business, foreign language, law, immigration, training, all of those things live in that ninth house area. Now you're being asked to end, acknowledge, or make adjustments in your life around that department of life. So what changes are calling to you here? Where is your emotional security involved? Do you have what's going on around women or parents in your life in this area? Because you're definitely being called to make some adjustments. But whatever you're ending, acknowledging, or adjusting, as you make that change, because this moon is in a really nice connection with Uranus and also that transiting north node, it's like it was a part of your destiny to allow that thing to adjust and be what it is now. It can be to your benefit. It can really emotionally fulfill you. Maybe you even get perspective on the emotional state of another person or another perspective on a situation that you couldn't have before, and it is of maximum benefit to you, Scorpio. As we get to March, okay, yes, look, I'm already ready for March, Scorpio. As we get to January 12th, we're going to see Mars, one of your ruling planets, coming out of retrograde, which first of all, truly, we see the full entirety of the Mars retrograde cycle coming to a close in March. So see, I'm just so excited for us at that point. But when the ruling planet comes out of retrograde, some of that sluggish energy starts to come a little bit more online, not to mention just how you get things done. What you desire, the strategies, the actual physical learning modules and movements. You've had time to relearn, be introspective, to gain a new perspective on how to strategize this Gemini area of your chart, which is about the 8th house. So joint resources, okay? I want you to think about joint resources. Intimacy and assets is really what lives in this 8th house area. So a partner's money, maybe that changes for some reason. You know, were you a part of a contract or something where you were paying off debt or you owed money, and now that's either coming into play or you've brought it significantly to an end and you're wrapping up that Gemini contract? Did you have to learn something else about death, debt, taxes, inheritance, shared resources, financial aid? You know, what's going on here? Sex, reproductive system, trauma, healing, therapy, counseling, all of these fall into your astrology, fall into your 8th house zone. And you've had a time to reassess these things in your life and see if they are on track. You learned something, especially from September until now. And between August of 2022 and March of 2023, then you'll be able to enact those things, right? Allow the new fresh breath of energy and new strategy to come to you under this Mars energy. As we get to the 18th, we see Mercury coming out of retrograde at 8 degrees of Capricorn. Okay, now we saw Mercury step into its pre-retrograde shadow energy December 12th. So think back to December 12th in terms of communications, contract signings, classes you were taking, something you were writing, negotiations, buying, selling, information that was coming to you. It would have started to come to you and you got the information about it. And now as Mercury is out of retrograde, it's like you can make decisions and finish it up. I would highly suggest that here on the 18th, if you've got a contract that you need to sign or some kind of negotiation, I simply wouldn't at this particular time, or I would be reading all of the fine print, having someone go over it with me. When a planet is stationing, not to mention we've got 3 planets stationing this month and they're relatively close to each other, you know, the month is squished in, it's real easy to be unsteady in terms of what you're seeing. You miss something. So having 2 heads might be better than one at this particular time. But, you know, Mars is out of retrograde in that 8th house, Mercury out of retrograde in the 3rd house. So the collaboration piece and feature might be a little bit smoother and easier after the 18th of the month. On the 20th, we see the sun move into the energy of Aquarius, into your 4th house zone, now bringing light, heat, life, and vitality, and your attention. You're motivated. You're like, oh, this is outdated. It doesn't work here anymore. Let me innovate. Let me renovate. I have a freedom in this area for some reason. You know, it's a different kind of vibration. It's your yearly, that's outdated, level me up kind of season in your life. Just a day later, we're going to have a new moon happening at 1 degree of Aquarius, okay? So plant your seeds of intention, Scorpio, here. You know, what do you want to begin anew? What experience would you like to have in your home zone? Are you looking for a home and you'd like to move? Are you ready to establish a different relationship with your parents, with your children, with your family, in what you call home? You know, have you been working for a very long time towards a goal or a vision, and now you're feeling it come home, like it's an improvement in your life? It's this big change that you've been waiting for a long time, because that's the energy that's available here, okay? On the 22nd, we see Uranus coming direct in the energy of Taurus at 14 degrees. Now, this is, of course, in your 7th house zone. So since May of 2022, going all the way until May of 2023, that's the full Uranus retrograde cycle, the full cycle, okay? But in May of 2022, I think you got some information in your relationship zone, which you're like, no, this is keeping me not free. I need freedom here. I need freedom here. And so working on, even if you've been chipping away at it, very Tauran, right? The things that you need to do to have freedom in your relationship area, or maybe even surprises in relationships that you didn't expect to present themselves, and they allow you this new freedom, have presented themselves. I can never get away from the fact that Taurus is also surrounding our finances. So, you know, was there something financial that you've been under and now you have a different strategy or a different motivation to move towards a strategy to have a financial wellness and freeness for yourself, Scorpio, that you just didn't have maybe back in May of 2022, okay? As we close out this month, on the 26th, we're going to see Venus move into the energy of Pisces until February 20th. Now, this lights up your 5th house zone. So, you know, pleasure, play, joy, things with children. Venus is exalted in the energy of Pisces, so it's not in home court advantage. It's not its most powerful, but it's the next best thing, where Venus is like, I love it here. This is really doing some good things for me. So for you, you have the presence, the consciousness, the confidence of Venus in Pisces to bring joy into certain areas of your life and to have an understanding and a compassion, especially around children in your life, Scorpio, right? Where can you bring compassion? Where can you bring healing? Where can you bring a view of exploring the past with your children in some way? Maybe you're having a conversation about, you know, what used to be there, that, you know, it wasn't just this way or this way. I did this because of this. Like, there's this exploration that becomes available, and there's a lovely compassion. Now, the other part of this that I do want to say is Venus is Venus. So a relationship with children, or your own joy, your own inner child, your own expression, can be really, really delicious at this time too, but in a very, it's not like Mars confident way, let me get at it, you know? It's like, I accept me. I accept the things that I've done and I've been through, and you're forming this gorgeous relationship here. Also, in a fifth house way, conception. It's conception of people, places, and things, and that includes babies, adoptions. Maybe you create a business, and Venus is attracting in a welcoming from the public from you in order to do that work or to begin that particular practice. So you have a lot of space to navigate beautifully with Venus should you choose to walk through that door, Scorpio. All right, my beautiful friends, have a gorgeous month. I look forward to seeing you in February and seeing what January brought into your life and how you chose to navigate with that, okay? Bye, Scorpio friends.